Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Positive Club. I'm your host Z, and I have the pleasure to have Ismael Perez back on. Ismael, it's a pleasure to have you here, and just talk a little bit and give us some updates that you can share about all the new stuff that is happening. It's a pleasure to have you on the show.
Thank you. I appreciate being here as well. Well, things are really progressing for the forces of light. The fact that they blew up the Georgia Stones using God's iron rod, which is an advanced technology that was given to the Earth Alliance by the Galactic Federation, is an indicator that the White Hats are now in control. So what's been happening in the last week or two as to why all the prime ministers from these different countries have been stepping down is because the White Hats have not only seized the gold of the Vatican, which is in the quadrillions, but the White Hats have also seized the servers and the computers within the monarchy of the UK. So there's going to be a huge changeover in the UK as a result of that. But technically, it's going to happen worldwide. So now that the White Hats have access to all the computers, all the servers, they're getting ready to initiate a huge, massive emergency broadcast system any day now. So, the storm is upon us. Just be centered, have at least 2 weeks of food supply, because a huge revelation and a huge wake-up call is coming to humanity.
That is beautiful to know. We've been waiting for this for a long time. Like 20 years ago, I was looking online on the Georgia Stones, and then the more I read about it, the more nervous I got, and all these crazy things that are coming out. And now they kind of getting hammered, which is really good. And then all the stuff that you're mentioning, all these crazy things, all these guys, resigning and things like that. And I think there was an obelisk that got hit also. Do you know anything about that?
Yes, the obelisk, I forget what country it was in, but several monuments were hit. Not just the Georgia Guidestones. But the reason they were eliminated is because they were creating some sort of negative energy. Yeah, negative energy, and they were sending it across the grids, keeping the planet at a very low frequency. So they had to remove those in order to kind of alleviate the planet from that dark energy.
The way things were going, I never thought we'd see the light of the day, and then finally it's like bam, I don't know, I haven't been this excited for a long time.
Well, it was all prophesied about, that the time would come when the forces of good would have all the evidence they need and the resources to bring down the forces of darkness in preparation for the ushering in of the age of Aquarius, which is what we're going to be entering.
Where are these people going to run away to now? Because the money's gone, they cannot be politicians, it's finished.
Yeah, they have nowhere to go. And from what I understand is that the real ones have been already taken to Guantanamo Bay. They've already been arrested. So what we're going to be witnessing is all the clones, stepping down.
That is beautiful. I'm going to start asking some questions. Some of the people on the review, they have some specific questions for you. I'm going to go into that, and then we're going to go a little bit more. Somebody asked, what happens to people who have already passed when we start to shift to the new dimension? What happens? Will they see them again?
Absolutely, yes. Those people are already waiting for the rest of us to come into the 5th-dimensional Earth. They already are in their 5th-dimensional bodies or 4th-dimensional bodies, depending on which dimension they ended up in. And so we will be seeing them again.
That's beautiful. I get to see my grandparents.
Yes, yeah, and they're going to look younger too.
Somebody's asking, what should they be eating right now?
Only raw.
What should they diet?
Only raw organic foods, vegetables, fruits. And if you do eat meat, make sure it's organic, grass-fed, non-hormones, not genetically modified. And don't make it a habit of eating tons of meat. Try to have some of the plant-based protein as well, because meat does make you denser. But try to keep a balance and be very mindful as to what you put in your body, because your body is about to go into a type of it's about to absorb all this energy that's going to be coming in, and in order for it to be a success, your body has to be very light.
So you look like Hercules. You do bodybuilding, I think, for 20 years now. I saw some of your videos. What is your diet? What is your own diet?
Well,
because you have to maintain a lot of muscle.
Right. I've been working out as part of my balance between mind, body, and spirit. I've always been a warrior in every lifetime. So, looking muscular is kind of has been with me in every incarnation. So as a warrior, I maintain my strength through workouts. As a spiritual master, I do meditation, And so to me, it's more of a balance. And I only feed my body raw organic foods. I don't drink soda. I don't eat bread. I don't eat starch or sugar. I cut that out 20 years ago. And yeah, you know, it's part of living a healthy lifestyle.
So you don't eat any bread at all?
No, no bread, no starch, nothing like that.
Oh man, my weakness is pizza.
Well, if the crust is made out of cauliflower, then I'll have some, you know, organic pizza on cauliflower bread. Well, in the fifth dimensional Earth, you're going to be able to eat donuts, pizza, and it's all going to be healthy for you because it's not going to be the same. It's going to be pure nutrients, but it's going to taste like pizza.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I like that. There is this idea of, oh, you should be, you know, it's all love and light, you know, take turn the other cheek. But, you know, the way I studied, and I see a lot of spiritual people, it's about being a warrior in the garden, not the gardener at war. And people, they miss that. They think that whatever comes, they just say, you know, it's okay, I'm going to take it. But sometimes you have to stand up, I believe, for what you believe, right? There are modalities that got wiped out because they didn't believe in, you know, protecting themselves, right?
Well, you know, it's one of those things where you have to have that balance. You have to adopt the mindset of a martial artist. You're learning the arts to defend, to guard, to protect, not to initiate war or to start for it. The heroes throughout all of history have known to be protectors. So if you need to defend yourself because it's self-defense, then yes. If we want to become, you know, how can I say it, warriors, you know, you have to stand up for your rights, you know, especially when it comes to those that you're protecting. You know, the masculine, the divine masculine is protector of the divine feminine. So we have to remember that, you know, men have a very important role in this uprising into this, you know, better world. We have to remember that we are the protectors of the human race, and women are stepping up to the warrior form too. It's not just men, you know. So yeah, I don't believe in the philosophy as turn the other way and get your other cheek slapped. I think that was misconstrued in the Bible, because a true warrior will always defend his society from any evil till death.
That is beautiful. That's exactly, I believe that too. You know, I mean, they feminize all the men here, right? They put them down.
They're trying to.
You
Yeah.
know,
They're trying to.
a lot of them, but it's not gonna work. You know.
No.
So
It's
you
not
have to protect. It's our job to protect, right?
Absolutely.
Somebody's asking about the solar flash, and they're saying that are they gonna die from the solar flash, and then they're going to have another body, and they're wondering what it looks like on the fifth density. What do we have planets? Do we have suns? They want to know what it looks like, and does your body survive? I know you said it many times in your other videos, but
Yeah, we're not going to taste death. Our bodies are going to be transfigured. They're going to be upgraded. You're still going to look the same, except you're going to regress to looking 30 again. And yeah, your lifespan's going to increase to thousands and thousands of years. So it's going to be beautiful.
how does a twin flame feels like? Because, you know, a lot of people, they think they find their twin flames, and it's not love, it's lost, but it's some kind of a similar. What is that special frequency that is missing in the twin flame?
It's an atomatic attraction. Twin flames normally gravitate towards each other from the moment they meet each other. They're inseparable because they're each other's half. They complete each other. You know, there's different stages that they go through in order to seal their unity. But in the process of that, you know, there's also many lessons to learn from your twin flame.
Some people are asking about if the Rh negative blood is just those star seeds, or all blood type it could be star seeds, you know, hidden in those blood type. You know, this Rh negative keeps coming up in the comments.
Yeah, a great percentage of the starseed celestials in human form are Rh negative because they're the descendants of the Pleiadian Iberians, of the Lyran Pleiadian bloodline, not of the Draco reptilian bloodline. But there are some starseeds that have incarnated in Rh positive blood type as well, but those are very few. You know, but the most advanced souls in the universe had to incarnate in a Rh negative blood type, a body that has no relationship to the primitive, you know, rhesus monkey, Neanderthal race.
What about the O negatives, O's, you know, some of those ones? What are they? Because I think O is the most ancient blood type on the planet, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, the O is the universal donor negative. We're referring to the O negative, not O positive. The O negative is the universal donor that it's a blood that everybody on the planet could take, but the O negatives could only take their own blood. If they take somebody else's blood, they die. So it is the most purest, undiluted blood that comes to us from the celestials or from the immortals that existed during the times of Atlantis. Those that weren't admixed with the primitives of the of the African tribes.
So would O negatives also be starseeds, or?
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. A lot of the descendants of Jesus and Mary Magdalene are O negative and RB negative. Those are the purest. RB, AB negative, and O negative.
What is cancer? Because in the recent years, there's a lot of people they're getting all kind of cancer, and it's just like exploding like crazy. What is it, and why is it on our planet?
Just like every other disease, it was developed by the cabal in order to keep us sick, in order to kill us off, just like everything else. Chemtrails, genetically modified foods, even the shampoos that we use. It's all designed to give us these chemicals that are meant to destroy our immune system. So cancer, unfortunately, is part of their game plan. So it was a disease that only exists in our world, by the way. Higher developed worlds that have no cabal, there is no such thing as cancer or illnesses. Cancer is only associated in worlds where it's being run by the Draco. Yeah, it's a disease to take out our immune system and eventually, kill us. Just like HIV, just like the current virus. It's all part of the same old agenda. Destroy the immune system, right? Give people the medicine, right, in order to compromise their health. Yeah.
It's ridiculous. I mean, the way they do things. I studied a lot about water fasting. Prolonged water fasting, and from what I heard, some of these clinics that they do it goes away, it disappears because you cannot feed on the fat. When your body switches, from carbohydrates, I guess, to a keto kind of a diet, right? The cells, they cannot feed on that, so they start shrinking and dying. But nobody talks about it.
Well, fasting is good because that's when you fast and you do it the right way by giving yourself, the sodiums, the electrolytes as you're fasting, because your body cannot be dehydrated. You have more of a spiritual connection to your soul, they say, when you are fasting. Yeah.
What do you put in the water?
No, you have to put electrolytes, different potassium, stuff like that. Alkaline water is good to drink. Herbs is good to drink. Which are very anti-inflammatory, like healing herbs and stuff. If you could be at least drinking that throughout your fasting, your body is going to actually regenerate and clean itself off from all the toxins and pollutions in your system. It's a way of detoxing when you fast, by the way. It's a way of detoxing.
Nobody talks about that because it's free.
Well, it's hard. Most people can't go a whole day without eating.
Yeah, what do you get used to it? What is ADHD? This is another thing that is recently just exploding.
The true definition of ADHD is attention dialed to a higher dimension. And that explains why throughout the last 20 years, they've been labeling the starseeds with ADHD, autism, ADD, because they can't understand that they come with more advanced genetics than the rest of the humans. So they label them as these, they give them stigmas. But in reality, these are the kids. Like I was considered ADHD. I was considered Asperger's, autistic, and here I am writing a book that is, revolutionizing the way we see reality. So, it's the ADHDs and the autistic children are a gift to this world. They are the most advanced souls. And they have really advanced genetics, and that's why scientists and teachers can't really understand them.
Now that we're talking about ADHD, what are some of the ways that you yourself dealt with it? How did you make yourself concentrate?
I try to meditate. I do concentration techniques before I meditate, and that helps me a lot. I've been meditating for a little over 20 years now, so it allows me to center myself.
Any techniques that you can share?
Breathing, focus on your breathing, clear your head. I always like to focus on an apple. Try just putting an object in the image of your eye right here with their eyes closed and just seeing how long you could maintain that image or that object will really help you in your concentrating abilities. The more you do it, the better you get at it. If you could do it for a minute, that means you're good. Most people can only do it for 10 seconds and then their mind switches off into other thoughts. They can't hold it. So the more you practice, the better you become at it.
That is beautiful. Ladies and gentlemen, if you really want to get deep into stuff, Ismael here is offering courses online that you can learn all of this stuff.
I teach an online Starseed cosmology course, and I only have a little bit of room left for October. I'm booked till October. So if you guys want to take advantage of this, activation course that is going to trigger your memories, your Akashic, and realign you with your galactic self, I would definitely take advantage of that course.
I want to talk about something funny, Ishmael. These beautiful NASA images came out, and they look so perfect. Everything is so beautiful, perfect, like lens flares. I used to do a lot of Photoshops, and I used to make some images like that. And I was looking, I was like, oh, this is so beautiful. It's so beautiful that you could say it's almost fake. What do you think about these new pictures that came out?
It's very real. Yes, we have trillions of galaxies. And then we have multiple universes. So they're only able to capture galaxies. They can't capture where one universe ends and another universe begins.
Yeah. No, the pictures they took a couple of days ago, those pictures are real, or did they kind of manipulate it a little bit?
I haven't seen them, but from the pictures that I've seen in the past, they are very real.
What does the fifth dimension look like?
It looks as physical as this dimension, but it's much fluid-like. Things are less denser. In a sense where you are co-creating instantly with your thoughts. So that's why they say it's very important to gain control of your thoughts right now. Because if you can't master your own thinking, once you get into the fifth dimension, you're going to be manifesting things you don't want. So it's very important that you have gain absolute control of your thoughts before you enter the fifth dimension. Because everything in the fifth dimension manifests at the speed of light. Whatever you think, you will attract instantly in the fifth dimension.
So basically, even if you don't control your thought, you'll be forced to control them, because you're going to bring so many stuff in your reality that you don't want, that you're going to actually become, you have to meditate. You have no choice.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that explains why many of us are going to be going into the fourth dimension as a preliminary training ground before we go to the fifth dimension. At least those that go into the fourth dimension are going to have an opportunity to train their thoughts so that when they do enter the fifth dimension, they're going to, be manifesting only things that they want.
Would we have like cars and things like that, or we're just going to use our bodies to travel? Like how would that work?
In the fourth dimensional Earth, we're going to have hovercrafts. We're going to have spacecraft, external technology. In the fifth dimensional Earth, the technology is going to be a living biotechnology that is going to be connected with us through our minds. So we're going to have a consciousness-based technology, where we are in telepathic communication with our craft, and our craft is living organic quantum computer. Yeah.
So we can grow it with our own mind, basically, and program it, or?
Absolutely, with our mind, with our thoughts, yeah. And we could also navigate the craft with our thoughts. When we sit there on the chair, all we have to do is think of the destination, the portal will open, and your craft will go right through, and you will end up in whatever part of the galaxy you wanted to go to within seconds.
Oh, would there be violence? Like, what's happening right now? Would there be like anger, violence, things like that over there? Or is it going to be reduced?
In the fourth dimensional Earth, it's going to be reduced by 75%. It's going to be mainly, it's going to be a much better world than this world. In the fifth dimensional Earth, it's going to be reduced by 100%, because that world is only going to be inhabited by people who have mastered unity consciousness, compassion, empathy, forgiveness, and Christ consciousness.
So I'm going to ask you some personal questions, some things that nobody asks you, right? So you're more than welcome. Just say pass and I take it out. What are some of your great childhood stories, memories?
Going to the river with my cousins, and just, going in the water. It's only like 4 feet deep, so it was kind of fun. And, the river wasn't too bad. It was kind of like a steady stream. And I just always remember just, in the summertime, just going there with a couple of my cousins and, their dads, because my dad left when I was 5. So it was fun for me, just those memories will always be there. Just diving in that little river, or at least soaking in that little river, and then, trying to catch those little fish that exist in there. But yeah, the river was only like 4 feet deep. So it was very nice to, the water just came up to like our chest and stuff. It was fun.
Did you catch any fish?
No, they would just swim around you.
They're so fast to catch. You cannot.
Yeah, they are. They are. Other memories as a child? Every Sunday, my grandmother would take me to church. 3 times a week, she would force me to pray the rosary. Those aren't very good memories, I guess. But yeah, I remember when I went to Disneyland for the first time. It wasn't all that for me. Like most kids would have been like, "Hey, Disneyland," but for me, it's just like,
Hey,
yeah,
Mickey Mouse.
yeah. I wasn't really too intrigued by Disneyland like most children.
It's all mind programming anyway, right? So,
Exactly.
what are some of the most important lessons that you have learned in your journey? Because you've been meditating, you've been doing this stuff for a long time, more than a lot of people. So, what are some of the things you have learned that you can share?
One of them is not to take anything personal. I've been in sales and marketing for many years, and it's been cold call sales. And one of the things that I had to learn in that job is that people are not rejecting you, they're rejecting your product. So don't take nothing personal. Also, I've learned to have absolute control of my emotions and not react to circumstances that are unwanted. So throughout the many years, I've learned how to become less of a reactor and more of an observer of things, where I don't let it affect me emotionally. So I've learned how to master my emotions and my mind. Even to the point where if somebody were to flip me off, or something, it doesn't bother me, like in traffic, So yeah, those are some of the things that I've learned. It's how to master my mind, how to master my emotions, and how to not take nothing personal. Another thing that I learned was, don't worry about what other people think, because if you do, that means you're letting them, you're giving your power away to them. So yeah, stay authentic.
That is one of the biggest problem of people these days. We worry too much about what other people think, because it's more about them than us. When they give you a negative feedback or they insult you or anything like that, it comes from them. It's nothing to do with you. It's their opinion. Who cares?
Right.
But
Exactly.
unfortunately, everybody gets afraid and they stop. They move back instead of moving forward. So
Exactly. And also always see the blessings in disguise when unfortunate things happen. Sometimes a door might close, but it's because 10 doors are opening, and you just have to always see that there's always light at the end of the tunnel. See, the universe is always going to test you to see where your patience is, to see if you are capable of making the right decisions. But the universe will never throw something at you that you can't handle. Everything that happens in your life is because it's part of your training to mold you, to make you stronger, to make you, a better individual in life.
that is so true. Gratefulness and all of that goes so far. What are some of the people that have influenced you personally?
The people that have had the most impact in my life were a spiritual guru who taught me Kriya Kundalini Yoga. He goes by the name of Tony, or now he's known as Ascended Master Fa Shi. He taught me a lot. In fact, when I was 19 years old, he gifted me with 5 boxes full of books. Each box had about 1,000 books. And it was all books on meditation, metaphysics, ascended masters, ascension, spirituality, metaphysics, everything. And so that really, really just kind of, caused me to fall on my path. Another person in my life that was a good influence on me was my mother. My mother was very spiritual, She had all the psychic gifts. She had the gift of prophecy, and she would always tell me things.
Any books that you'd recommend?
Yeah, the Book of Knowledge, The Keys of Enoch by J.J. Hortek. Very profound, very high-level knowledge. Not everyone's going to understand it, but those that have the mind to understand will understand that book. Other books that have influenced me is The Autobiography of the Yogi. That book is what really got me on my path when I was 19 years old, and I read that book for the first time. It got me meditating.
If you had $10 million right now, what would you do with it?
I would invest that money in a humanitarian program that is designed to help bring in the healing technologies to the public, med beds, holographic regenerators, frequency, stuff that really works. And in an effort to replace the pharmaceutical and the medical industry. So that's where I would invest all my money, is in bringing all the healing modalities to the rest of the planet from the private sector.
That is amazing. What would the world look like in 5 years from now and in 10 years from now?
The world is going to be galactic. We're going to have ships coming to and from the Earth. We're going to be walking with different extraterrestrial races from not only our galaxy, but from many galaxies in the open as part of our interplanetary society. We're going to be, living and enjoying our life in a sense where all our dreams are going to be realized. Every single person on this planet in the future or in the next 5 years, when the Earth is already in fifth dimensional reality, is going to have all their dreams realized, all their wishes. So everyone's going to be living their dreams in the positive ascending timeline. Yes.
Do you know anything about the Tartarians? I keep hearing about the Tartarians. They were here before. They built all this crazy building that harvested energy and had all this technology, but now we're kind of using them as, just regular buildings. Do you know anything about that?
Well, the Tartarians were an advanced utopian civilization that lived in harmony in the 18th century or 17th century, I think. And the reason we don't know anything about that is because the powers that be rewrote history. So all those records were eliminated from our memories as the generations progressed. But all that stuff is coming back in a way where it's all going to be part of the disclosure. And some believe that the Tartarian civilization is still existing in the Terra Earth, which is in dimensions 4, 5, and 6. They just kind of translate into higher dimension. Kind of like the Mayans. The Mayans were never killed off by the Spaniards. The Mayans actually translated back into the fifth dimension. That's why they disappeared spontaneously overnight.
There's so many things we don't know. It's just crazy. And then they feed us this crap, about history and all that. And then, you think you know something, and then the truth slowly starts to come out, right? So, and it challenges everything, right?
Exactly. So part of this awakening is relearning everything. It's unlearning everything we've been told and then relearning everything. So it's going to be interesting the way things are going to be unfolding when the truth comes out.
There's a lot of positive people, right? No matter how much they think things positive, the outcome is horrendous. Are they getting attacked, or what is happening there?
Yeah, we're at the end of the spiritual battle, it's in its final stage. So the more we become awakened and the more we become aware of our divinity, the more the dark forces are going to attack. So that's part of that. But, they know that they're in their last hour. So they're going to do everything in their power to try to prevent what's coming. But it's impossible because what's coming is, inevitable. God always wins.
So basically, the best approach would be think positive and be detached from any outcome, and eventually it's going to pan out.
Pretty much, yeah. Stay away from that fear-mongering stuff that's also circulating online that, that is only going to, give you anxiety and stress. Because what they want to do is they want to take you off your center, your course of staying grounded and positive and centered. So make sure that you don't buy into the negative stuff.
Ismael, what is something that people misunderstand about you?
Well, I'm a family man. I've raised 2 kids. I have a 22-year-old daughter. I have a 16-year-old son, and then I have a wife that has been terminally ill for a few years now. She's in stage 4 kidney failure, and so I raised my 2 kids my whole life. And I've learned to balance everything out between my work, my writing, my research, while being a father and a husband. So I became a father at the age of 19, as to why my daughter is now 22. So I started my family days, being a father and husband at a very early age. So I was kind of forced to grow.
That is beautiful.
And mature.
That is beautiful. Most people, as soon as they see there's something that they cannot handle, like most fathers, they run away and disappear. It takes a real man, to be a warrior, and do this stuff.
Exactly.
It takes a lot of guts, right? So, what is an insult that you wear it gladly? Some people insulted you. What is it that you wear it proudly?
Well, when I was in high school, due to the fact that I was very spacey, I was always daydreaming.
Yeah.
My peers used to call me dumb, and they used to call me retard, and all
Yeah.
those bad names. But
Yeah.
it didn't really face me. I was just in my own head, right? I was having visions, and they thought I was just clueless, just staring up at the roof. But I mean, at the ceiling. But I was really just having visions of the future, and they didn't understand that. So of course they wanted to label me dumb. So I could have taken it as an insult, or I could have just. And what I did is I ignored them. I didn't let that affect me.
Yeah, I've been through a lot of that stuff myself. The whole family used to call me stuff like that. But there's a time that you have to make a choice, that say, hey, you know what? They're all wrong. That's it. I'm amazing. I'm infinite. All that stuff, right? So,
Exactly.
and the funny thing is, the more, I guess, connected you are, the more you get this crap from everywhere, right? So they dish it to you everywhere.
Yeah,
right.
Pretty much. Mm-hmm.
What is this XRP? Everybody's talking about XRP this, XRP that. Like, what the heck is this thing? What everybody talks like it's the best thing ever, and everything is crashing, and then they still say no. They hold the flag, XRP.
It has a lot to do with the new financial systems that the Y-hats have been developing in the last few years. It's a financial system that's going to be connected to Starlink and the quantum financial system, which is going to be decentralized and capable of being, hacked. And it's going to be run by a quantum computer that will be giving most of the funds to those that have the biggest hearts. So in this new quantum financial system, the XRP and XLM are the currencies that are going to be backed by real gold and precious metals, by the way, and bringing us back to, a treasury as it was before the corrupt Federal Reserve came into play. So it's the undoing of the old fiat system, and also the old Babylonian way of, how can I say it, like the credit card system, all that stuff, the debt, it's all going to be eliminated. Yeah, the debt, it's all going to be eliminated. Your mortgage, the IRS is going to be eliminated. All your loans that you ever got, that's all going to be squashed, and that's all part of this new system. It has a lot to do with the bringing the emergence of Nicera and Gesera, which is a new financial system the Y-hats have been actually working with for more than just 50 years. It goes back to the beginning of this country.
What about gold and silver? Some people, they swear by gold. Some people, they swear by silver.
Gold and silver is going to be part of our new financial system. Those are going to be the precious metals that are going to be backing up all the units in the new economy. Yeah.
So in the new economy, do we have to worry about money? Like you have to hustle.
Yeah, it's going to be the opposite of that. It's going to be a world where you're going to be contributing to the whole through your talents and the things that you're good at. And people are only going to work 2 hours a day, 2 to 3 hours a day. Other than that, they're going to have the whole day to, meditate, leisure, spiritual evolution, whatever they want.
That is beautiful, man. Like, seriously. Everybody has to work and
the system of slavery, which is 9 to 5, credit card debt, all that's coming to an end.
When you start the spiritual journey, right? There's a lot. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of people, they can take advantage of you. What are some of the ways that you have to make sure that you have to be careful not to fall for everything? Because there's a lot of stuff out there that is they're trying to grab you. Even there is some dark stuff that they pretend that they are good, and they try to grab you, right? So what are some of the things that people should do to be very careful when they start their spiritual journey? Because when you start it, you're open to everything, right? It's just crazy.
Ground yourself, protect yourself with a wide bubble of light every morning, and ask for your spirit guides and angels to give you the discernment as to who's good in your life and who's not. So that way you could have your intuition on every time you meet somebody. And your intuition will guide you in this process, Never lose faith in your intuition. Your intuition will always tell you the truth about things.
Ismael, what is your favorite color?
Blue, and I like blue, but I also like purple. I think blue. I would say blue is my favorite.
What is your morning routine? What does Ishmael? Because people, they don't know about this, right? Because you talk about all these amazing things, right? But nobody knows the person. That's what I'm trying to maybe get a little bit. So what does Ishmael daily routine looks like? I know you go to the gym, and all that stuff. What does your routine looks like?
I get up at 4:30. I go to the gym at 5. Um, After the gym, I do my early morning meditation at the park or by the beach, and then I go to work. And then depending on if I have an interview, I'll do that. Sometimes I have 2 interviews a day. It seems like in the last month and a half, I've been having interviews every day. And then if I have to teach an online course, which I'm doing now twice a week, I'll do that twice a week in the evenings. And then when I don't have that going, I'm constantly doing more research, getting more downloads. And then now I'm working on adding a new chapter to my book, which is going to be ready in about 2 months when I reprint my book for the second edition. I'm going to actually, hire an editor to go through the whole book and, fix all the misspells and grammatical issues. So yeah, that's what I do. And I'm a caretaker to my dying wife that has terminal illness. So
That,
on top of everything, yeah,
that's
I'm here
terrible.
assisting her, in anything she needs. She's constantly on IVs, and hooking up to different machines just to keep her alive. So I'm also doing that as well. So that's me from behind the scenes.
Yeah, I'm dealing with something like that myself. My own parent. She's not doing well for the last 2.5. It's very difficult. You have to be very strong, right? So, if you want, give a little bit more insight.
Sure, yeah. I have a big heart. If if I see a homeless person, especially a mother with kids asking for money, I always give her money because my mother was a single parent, and I just know how tough it is to raise children. And so that's my weak spot, seeing a mother with kids, toddlers that are begging for money, in the streets or in front of a grocery store, to the point where sometimes it makes me want to tear up. So I have a very sensitive to stuff like that. Um, what else? I have compassion for all living things. I I have this like love for humanity, an agape type of love where I care for everyone. Um, I'm always trying to serve others to the best of my ability. If I can help you out, I will. If I can't, I can't. But for the most part, everything I do is to serve the collective of humanity. Because I'm just an instrument at this point. I just want to help as many people as possible reach that level so that we can be ready for the ascension. So I'm just here of service. I'm not a saint or anything. I'm still human, but I do live accordingly to the universal law of one. Yeah.
That is beautiful. One thing about you, it's you don't have a big ego because I've seen like a lot of people. They just learn just a little bit, and they call themselves, oh, I'm this, I'm that. The ego gets so inflated, and in this, I think the truth about spiritual journey, the more you learn, the more you know that you know nothing, because this is so vast, it's like so infinite. Like, how can you know anything? And I don't know, it's crazy. But this is something that I've been seeing a lot lately. Everybody's like, they get so big, oh, I'm this, I'm that. But like in reality, you're just part of everything. And then from my point of view, I don't know anything. And it's crazy.
Yeah.
And you're so humble, man.
Yeah.
Like,
Thank you. I appreciate the compliment. I don't claim to know everything because the more you learn, the more there's always going to be more to learn. But I am aware that, I do know enough to share and to teach others. But at the same time, I keep my cup open for more knowledge and more information. I don't always, just because I have a clear understanding of our cosmic origin in the bigger picture, doesn't mean I know everything. I'm still learning. So I am a student as well as a teacher. I'm both.
that's the best way. And you know what happens? Sometimes people, when you start teaching and things like that, people put you on a pedestal and they think you know everything. And they hold you to it, which is ridiculous. Everybody's learning here, everybody's just moving up together, and then those high expectations, is something that every single individual, they have to go and learn it from themselves. You want to learn and then connect to yourself. You don't want to learn and always just try to get it from somebody else. At some point, you have to go inside of yourself and start experiencing all this stuff. So I'm sorry, man. So your wife, can she walk and stuff like that, or she's just bed?
Very, very barely. She uses a walker to hold herself. She's very weak and frail right now. She's been like that for like the last 2 months. And the only reason I don't bring this up is because I I try not to involve my personal life with my social life. I try to keep those two separated, but it's okay. We all have our challenges in life.
No, because this gives a deeper understanding of who you are, right? The only reason you give so much is because you have to go through so much problems and things like that.
Without the struggles, there is no growth. If life was easy for me, if everything was handed to me,
you wouldn't be this person. You wouldn't be this amazing person that you are.
Exactly.
Right.
Well, thank you for the compliment, but yeah, I do believe that it builds character. The challenges, the roughness of life builds character.
There's this old saying. It's like a butterfly that comes out of the cocoon, right? You have to struggle in that cocoon to break it free, and then be this beautiful, amazing thing that you are, right?
That we all are.
Ismael.
Sure.
Ismael, they're making cockroach plants, and they're making warm plants. Plants. I don't know what they're. Who is going to eat these cockroaches and worms?
Not me. Are you serious?
I'm serious. Here in Canada, they made the biggest cricket farm, and then in Calgary, Stampede, they were selling warm hot dogs with cricket. It's just, I don't know who eats that. This is what they want us to eat. Yeah.
Maybe there's nutrients in these bugs or insects. I'm just
They're putting it in protein powders. They're promoting it like crazy. I'm serious.
Oh man,
I'm not eating it, but I don't know who's gonna eat it. I mean, that's gonna be the next thing they're forcing for the people, right? I mean, there's no way I eat it. I'd rather die.
Yeah, same here.
Ismael, it was a pleasure to have you on the show as always. Is there anything else you want to share with the audience, and where can people find you and take your classes?
Just wanted everyone to know that we've come a long way to just give up while we are at the finish line. Don't give up. This is it. Our time has come to anchor in a new heaven on earth. For those that haven't read my book, you could find it on Amazon. It is a book that will activate you. Every chapter has a trigger to activate you into a multidimensional state of awareness. And for those that want to know if they're a starseed and what type of starseed you are, and also learn how to connect with your galactic self, I would suggest that you take my online Starseed Cosmology course. I have a few spaces left available for October, and I will be giving the link for the description. Oh, and I'm also on Instagram under Project Restoration Zion 1, which is my only account. All the other ones are fake.
Okay, Ismael, it was a pleasure to have you on the show, and I hope that you come back again.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate your time as well.
Ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you enjoy this story. Every day, there's daily inspirations for you to make you feel better and love yourself. There's also many documentaries, inspirational stories of people on this channel. And there would be a lot more. On the daily inspiration for you, you will see many positive affirmations and quotes to make you feel good and positive. There's 300 videos there that you can watch to make yourself feel better. On top of that, please pray for Ismael's wife to hopefully become better. Ladies and gentlemen, I wish you the best. Love yourself, believe in yourself, and help anyone that deserves it.